Now, today I had the honor of interviewing the President of the United States, who's fighting his hardest to secure these borders, and he was down here as well. Take a look. Mr. President,
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Rio Grande behind us. These are the guys on the front line. You're giving them encouraging messages. Right behind them is 500 pounds of drugs that they have captured from this river.
That's right. They are incredible people. We've just spent some time together, and we had a whole group at a meeting we also had that was just covered on your network and other networks, and it's incredible the job they do, and we really appreciate it. That's right. They have a tremendous amount of drugs that they just captured right behind us, and that's what they do. And if we had a barrier, a steel barrier, a concrete barrier, coal, whatever you want, it wouldn't we wouldn't have the problem.
I have some shots that will show in this. People can walk across the river, and it'll take them about, what, a minute and a half, 2 minutes? That's all it would take. And if there is no barrier, all those drugs get in. If these guys can't carry every inch of the 2,000 miles.
That's right. They have easy access into the United States. We've built a lot of wall. We've renovated a tremendous amount of wall with money that we've already gotten. And we're continuing that, but now we really just want to get it going and finish it up, and we're going to build the new wall. And it's common sense. It really is. When you think of it, whether you're into the world of law enforcement, like these incredible folks behind us that understand the wall so easily, I mean, it would make their job so much better. And they could also go to other areas, because where you have the wall, you don't need so many people. We would probably pay for that many times in 1 year, if you think about it, just many times. So it's not a money thing, it's a political thing. They look at the 2020 race and they're not feeling too good about it. They'll do whatever they can to win.
I have tapes of maybe 20 Democrats. They all use the same phrase, manufactured crisis. Interestingly, their best friends in the media, they're all using the same word, manufactured crisis. So we have drug cartels, we have gangs that we're dealing with, 90% of America's heroin crossing our southern border. And then, of course, we've had homicides, and we've had sexual assaults, 100,000 violent assaults. What do you say to that talking point the media and the Democrats are using? This is manufactured.
Well, I watched last night. I saw on your show last night, actually, where you had anchor after anchor using the exact same word. It's manufactured.
Sounds like they're in collusion.
A little collusion. That's the real collusion, okay? That's the real collusion. You take a look, because they all use the exact same term. I mean, literally the exact same two words. But they had manufactured. I said, where did they come up with that? It's a manufactured crisis. No, it's a manufactured soundbite, because it was just a soundbite. But virtually every, I call it the fake news. I'm sure you haven't heard, because you're not fake news, actually. You're real news. And there is some of that. No, there is some of that around, fortunately. And these are great people. These are patriotic people that do it correctly. But, when I hear that term, manufactured, and you see every single group using it, it's very sad.
We lose 300 Americans a week. 90% of the heroin comes into the country. But in the last 2 weeks, we lost Officer Singh in California.
Right.
Then Pierce Cochran. I had his parents on the show this week.
I saw that.
I don't know how you recover after losing a child. Killed by illegal immigrants. I've met and I've interviewed so many angel moms and dads.
Yep, me too.
Are they going to say that to them, the people that lost their loved ones, their sons, their daughters, their parents?
Well, Sean, many of the people that aren't getting their check, they get it. They're going to get it soon. But many of the people, they're with us 100%. They want us to win this battle. These people want us to win. Everybody wants us to win this battle. It's common sense. Death is pouring through. We have crime and death. And it's not just at the border. They get through the border, but then they filter into the country. And you have MS-13 gangs in different places like Los Angeles, and you have gangs all over Long Island, which we're knocking the hell out of. But there should be no reason for us to have to do this. They shouldn't be allowed in. And if we had the barrier, they wouldn't be able to get in.
Okay, so the point, everybody that I have met and spoken to, they all say, tell the president if you see him, hold the line.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you said earlier today that it's likely, that you're very likely going to declare a national emergency. How soon would that happen?
No, if we don't make a deal with Congress, most likely I will do that. I would actually say I would. I can't imagine any reason why not, because I'm allowed to do it. The law is 100% on my side. So if we can't make a deal with Congress, then we should be able to make a deal with Congress. If you look, Democrats in Congress, especially the new ones coming in, are starting to say, wait a minute, we can't win this battle with Trump because of the fact that it's just common sense. How can we say that a wall doesn't work? They show on helicopters empty fields and people just running through. And you put a wall, they can't run through. It's very simple.
What are the options, though? If you declare a national emergency, the Pentagon also has the funds available that they would be able to help support the building of the wall?
If we don't make a deal with Congress, which we should be able to, really just common sense, and there's some compromise needed. And look, they know that the walls work. You know what works? A wheel and a wall. They call it a medieval thing. Well, you know, I'm looking at all these very expensive cars all over here, loaded up with machine guns, and every single one of them has wheels. It's a wheel is an old thing, and a wall is an old thing. There are two things they work. They work. A wall would be so effective. It would solve so many killings and so much death and drugs and human trafficking, where they tape up women on their face. They tape them up and they put them in the back of a car or a van, and they drive right through our border.
I guess the next most important question is, when you do that, would you expect they're going to go judge shopping? They'll go to the Ninth Circuit. They'll go to California to start the process. Are your attorneys telling you there's an expedited way, perhaps, to the Supreme Court?
They are saying there possibly is, and hopefully we wouldn't even have to go through it. The law is very clear. I mean, we have the absolute right to declare a national emergency, and this is security stuff. This is a national emergency, if you look at what's happening. And you just heard the statement. They came in last week or this week from Pakistan and different people. They got them.
You see, Sarah Carter last night had people from Bangladesh.
Absolutely. And they come in through the southern border because it's really considered the space and the place where they can get in. And we want to close it up. These people have done the greatest job. It's hard work. And it could be a lot easier. And it would be virtually 100% effective. And Nancy and Chuck know that, but it's politics. It's about the 2020 campaign. It's about running for president. That's what they're doing. They're already doing it. It's a shame. They got to put the country first.
When you see the same Democrats, Hillary, Obama, Biden, Schumer, all supporting this, you know, in 2006, 2013.
That's right.
They're not supporting it now. Is it because you're the president and they don't want you to get a win? Shouldn't the win be about the country being safer, more secure?
They know what I'm saying is 100% right. And it's not only us, it's everybody saying it. These people say it, everybody says it. If you don't have a barrier, whether it's a steel barrier or a concrete wall, substantial and strong, you're never going to solve this problem. You're never going to solve it. And I don't need this. Look, I could have done something a lot easier. I could have enjoyed myself. I haven't left the White House because I'm waiting for them to come over in a long time. You know that. I stayed home for Christmas. I stayed at the White House for New Year's and New Year's
I think you tweeted Christmas Eve all alone. Where's Chuck and Nancy?
My family, I told them, stay in Florida and enjoy yourselves. But the fact is, I want to be in Washington. I mean, I consider it very, very important.
Last question. Timeline before you think you have to go the route and declare a national emergency?
Well, I think we're going to see what happens over the next few days. They should do it immediately. Look, we're not going anywhere. We're not changing our mind because there's nothing to change your mind about. The wall works. It's not a question like, well, maybe it won't work. It'll work 100%. Now, we're adding onto that equipment to find drugs that are hidden in cars. I mean, there's incredible equipment. We're adding sensors. We're adding drones. But what we need is the barrier. If we don't have a barrier, if we don't have a steel or concrete barrier, we're all wasting a lot of time.
And lives will be saved. I know you're thinking about the furloughed employees. You support them getting all their back pay.
100%. I support them tremendously, but I also support families like the Singh family and others by the hundreds and by the thousands that have lost somebody because our policies are so bad, and especially at the southern border. They've lost, and they've had people so badly hurt, but they've lost them. They've lost their lives. They've lost their heart out of the family. I support those families. The angel moms, you know the angel moms very well, and so do I. I support them, too.
Does it mean a lot to you guys that the president's down here?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Yes, it does. And is he describing the situation accurately?
Yes, sir.
And if you get the wall, the drugs will stop. You can stop the cartels, human trafficking, drug trafficking, the gangs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It will help.
It'll improve the effectiveness.
By what percent?
Like the chief said, the majority of our traffic is usually coming through areas that don't have a wall, just like this 515 pounds of dope.
Mr. President, thanks for taking time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for what you do, too. Thank you. We appreciate it.